I'm just kidding, like Jason. Unless you're gonna do it. What's good, Garrett? It's, it's good to get to reconnect and talk to you again. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I can't complain too much. I mean, I
I,
can, but I'm not going to.
I was about to say. I mean, we all got our complaints right now. I mean, it's we just we're. I think I think it was this week was like kind of the. It's been a year since the first reported case of coronavirus was
In the
in America. I think it
U.S.
was somewhere
Yeah.
around Washington State. I think Seattle, somewhere around
Hmm.
there. And I was just like, this is a hell of a milestone. And shout out to all those people that have had birthday. They had the birthday at the beginning of this
Well,
thing.
look, you're talking to one. Like it was funny.
Oh,
I had a call with my folks, my family earlier tonight, and we were talking about that. Like it's really been a year, and my sister was like, "Yeah, we're thinking about. I've just been thinking about all the people who are coming up on their second quarantine birthday." And I was like, "You mean like me?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you made it through." And I'm like, "Bet, all right."
so all right. So take me through it, because like I can imagine when I don't like your birthday's in March. Is it April or somewhere in
Mhm.
there? So like
March,
I
yeah.
can imagine when it first like I remember kind of how chaotic that was when we were just first all kind of like, hey, you mean I just gotta stay
Like I'm
home?
finna be in
Like
the house,
right, like I'm just
like
not
in the
gonna
house.
in the house. And then like so I can imagine that first birthday was pretty like sadly uneventful.
I mean, my thing because I'm now in my 30s. It's birthdays are kind of it's nice as a black man to make it to the next year. Keep it 100. But I wasn't planning to do a whole lot. The year before I had like a surprise party, which was really nice. So I was like, I wasn't planning a lot, but just the idea of not even being able to go anywhere, I was like, okay, well, next year will be fine. I'll just make up for it. And here we are next year.
Right. That's the I mean, because nobody thought that we'd still be, or at least I didn't think that we'd still be
Nah,
doing.
nobody did in March. Nobody did in
Yeah,
March
especially
last
in
year.
March. I think probably around actually my birthday. So my birthday at the end of July, and like I was like, oh wait, no, we about to be in this joint for because when it first happened, I'm like, all right, well, we'll be out of this thing in a month or two or
Yeah, six
something
months.
like.
6 months tops. Six
Yeah,
months
like
tops.
what I mean. Like this definitely wasn't going to be all the time, every day. We would definitely be out if you had given me odds on
Mhm.
whether or not we'd still be doing this a year later. No way, like just absolutely no way. And so yeah, like that's
And
just
here we are.
hitting
But we're
that
making the
year
best of it. We're making the
anniversary
best
mark.
of it.
Yeah, and we are right. Like we're doing that. Like that's cool, right? Like that's we're
Mhm.
trying to make it. We're trying to get there. And one of the more fun parts about this has been like the viral stuff people have been doing in the crib, right?
Mhm.
I just got on TikTok for That's Black Male, so you can go on That's Black Male. Got into TikTok
You
because
got to give me a tutorial on that because
I
I
I'm
still haven't figured it
man,
out.
look, I was on that junk, and like this is how I know I'm old because I feel like I've aged out of some stuff. Like Clubhouse, I joined Clubhouse.
Mhm. You're better
Nope.
than me.
Nah,
I can't.
like,
And it's funny too because people like friends of mine. Everybody's like, "Oh, I know you want it," because again, I'll be on I'm on Twitter or whatnot,
right.
and I'm like, "Nah, man, I prefer typing and words." It's like all of that getting up and speaking, and then on Twitter they discuss everything that happens in Clubhouse. So I see the topics and all of the foolishness. And I'm like, I made the right decision. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, this is just bored in the house board stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
just like because I did it originally because there was a UNC basketball one, and so like
Mm.
before game they'll do one, halftime they'll do one. Shout out to Q Luck, and like it's cool, but like it's mostly just like me. It feels like me joining in on somebody else's conversation,
Oh,
right?
okay, so you don't get up on the stage that they got in there and they
Yeah,
be talking
because
and be
I'm
like,
just
yeah,
like
this is why I love UNC basketball.
yeah. Because it just feels weird. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm sure you have, but like have ever been like where somebody like it's a group of friends. They're not your friends, but they're super tight, and like
Yeah.
you're just kind of chilling with them, and it's cool. But like it's like all right, well I don't have any of these stories. I don't have any of these like memories with
Mhm.
y'all, and so it's just kind of like just chilling on the outside looking in. I'm like, I'm not joining another social media app so that I can feel like an
just
outsider
to,
when I'm
just
sitting
to
my ass at home. Like
sit
how
and reminisce about shit that never
right?
happened to you. You're like,
What?
what?
What? No, I'm not doing this. Like that's but TikTok, like the busted challenge, I gotta hand it to him. Like whomever, I don't even know how it started. I just know Chloe ended that shit. Like I mean, like I was
Look,
like, ma'am, uh,
I, that was a tricky one for me because I like you see them and again the lovely, beautiful young women,
yeah,
gorgeous, you know what I'm saying. But to me, that they a little bit they kind of they young, they're Disney Channel a little bit, I guess. I can't even remember what they came on the scene with. But they like again, the singers, the actresses, and they're women. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, they not Disney Channel no more.
I used to get them confused all the time. I will never get them confused again.
Not
How
even
I am
no,
seared
they're their
into
own
my
people.
memory. Like I was like, okay. Yeah. All right. So is there any chance you joined TikTok, or if you were on there now, how have you kind of found that experience? Because like I've tried, so I was on there putting together, we did a shout out to Carrington, we did a video about NFL head coach and just kind of
Oh
just
yeah,
being,
yeah, yeah. I
you know,
saw that. I saw it.
being dumb, you know what I mean? Like again, in the house board, being dumb and stuff. And like I was just like on there trying to edit, and I was like, good gracious, like I am very not, you know me, I'm
Mhm.
not a technological person at all. So like getting on there, I was just like, ugh, it took me longer to edit that joint on there.
That's like the whole editing. Shout out to editors and folks who really do it with the photography, video, and everything. Because editing, I had to do. My mom's birthday was this weekend, and I had to chop up a little tribute video we were doing. And so, like, just even skimming or putting together a clip, I was like, that's again. This is why I like being in front of the camera and not behind it because it's like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
That's so much
Um,
work.
but now, like, I'm not on TikTok. I don't have any plans to jump on there. I don't know. And the thing is that again, one of the reasons why I love Twitter. Twitter's kind of like the aggregator for the
Hmm.
other realms of social media because it always ends up on Twitter.
It
So
does.
like you see the Busted challenge. Just you maybe remember that it's happening on TikTok, but all the videos or anything that I see is pretty much coming from the lens of Twitter, which is kind of funny too because then you get the whole discussion behind it.
Yeah.
So like you said when Chloe dropped it and Twitter exploded, and you were like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, this is the whole thing."
It's
So actually I saw a real wild one right before we got on.
yeah, I
Got
saw
on the
that one too.
pod.
I know exactly, exactly what you're talking about. And I
It's,
was
it's
like,
it's like it's like any internet challenge. It's going along. It's going great. It's happy. It's fun. It's inclusive. And then it's gonna take a turn. Sometimes it's a turn for the better, and sometimes it's a turn for what the fuck.
it's certainly turned out because like I just got playing on a joint like you was playing it, not even really watching it. Look, looking at the game, look back, I'm like, wait, this is not what I was looking at before. This is different. This is a
uh,
little bit
yeah.
realer than I had anticipated. I thought it was gonna be a little fun, you know,
hmm
just get
I
it
thought
right.
she was about to drop like to do those I've seen like with other challenges they'll do they'll start to do the
Right,
challenge like I guess it was a savage and then like they'll cut it into like facts about the Dakota pipeline
right.
or something that the government is doing. So I thought she was about to drop some knowledge about global warming. I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
I
because
was
she
very
had that
wrong.
look, right? She has that, like,
Yeah.
she's kind of. I mean, I don't want to character, paint her with a brush. I don't know, but she has kind of like this kind of Erica Badu feel about her, like she's about to really
Yeah,
like give you
thought
some
she was
like,
about to talk about the Earth.
yeah, that was not what that was. That's not what she was doing. Nope, just none at all. But speaking of the game, I mentioned watching the football game. Tom Brady again somehow still still doing it.
Somehow, some way, how many picks did he throw?
Three, three of
Three,
them things. Three of them things. Three
three
of them
on
things.
back drives. It's funny. One of my partners, he has his own podcast, Black Guy Who Tips. Shout out to my boy Rod. He has this whole thing about like action movies with white guys, and what he literally categorizes as impossible white man shit. And it's funny because Tom Brady is the NFL version of that because there's no way any other white man, any other person could throw 3 consecutive picks in a championship game and still win, except for that guy. Because I'm sitting here watching it like, there's another one, there's another like
three
but
in a playoff game. I know Jameis Winston and some are like, oh, this why y'all get, isn't that why y'all got rid of me?
I'm pretty sure this one guy would lost me my job.
Yeah, I mean, I had 30 TDs. I mean, I had 30 picks too,
but again, he still won. If you get the W, everything is forgiven.
Is there any? I'm trying to think of another one of like a nemesis in my head who has had more success than Brady. Like the sports hate to success ratio is insane.
So it's funny you mentioned that. Do people really like? I guess maybe it's just me. I never really hated Brady. I mean, when it came out as MAGA, I was like, well, this kind of to be expected, to be honest. He's a rich white man. Come on. But my thing was, I was like, I don't really hate him. It's not like he wasn't super arrogant. He just did his thing. And I mean, I kind of respected the Patriots hustle with the cheating, especially after you get caught. Like, honestly, I appreciate it because I'm like, you get called out for cheating. You say, this is what you're doing. You're recording. You're stealing signals. You're doing all that. Patriots said, you right. And now we can't do it. They got mad at the rest of the league for calling them out and beat the hell out of everybody. that's some like high end villain caliber shit. And I was just like, yo, I can't hate on that. I can't hate.
I mean, well, remember they beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl. Like that's when I
can kind of hate him for that.
And the way that we lost, like, I mean, kicking the ball out of bounds to John Casey. I mean,
Casey. I mean, he chose this one time to screw up as a Panther.
Sure enough, did like because otherwise he was like a hell of a player for the franchise.
Oh, he's a Hall of Fame for us.
He's probably, I don't know if they have a ring of honor or whatever, but like I'm sure whatever the version of that is, that he was great. But there's that they finally get back into that game, and then he kicks the ball out of bounds, gives Tom Brady a short field. And from ever since then, I've hated Tom Brady. Like just before it was like, I was like, I don't know if I hate him, but I do have a feeling about him. I don't have a reason to hate him. After that, I had a reason. After that, I had a good, solid reason to hate that man. The only other person that's kind of on that same level for me is Coach K, right? Like he's done a lot of winning. Like, and I don't like Duke basketball. Like and
it's really more of a byproduct of like just not liking Duke. I don't really hate Coach K. I just hate pretty much anybody associated with Duke until they get to the NBA.
Yep.
Because actually I have a number of Duke players that I like in the NBA. But as far as like, actual people sports wise that I just do not like, mine is like, I don't know. KG is honestly the person I just
He's one of my favorite players. You don't like KG?
No.
Why? Just why, sir? Why, good sir?
You know what? You know why I don't like KG? Because you play ball.
Yeah.
I play ball. You've played with a guy who does nothing but bark. He has skill, but all he does is and it's like my coach always, my coaches always say, you can talk a little bit trash. You're supposed to let your game talk for you. He could do that. And he always chose not to. And I'm just like, man. And the thing that made me so mad about it is because if you're gonna do it to everybody. But he always tried to pick on people, like, what I'm saying? Like, I'll never forget when it was in one game, he was barking at like Jose Calderon. And I'm like, why are you barking at Jose Calderon? Like, what? Fam, you the big ticket. Like, that's you. Why are you even doing this? And then, honestly, when he pulled that card on Melo, I was like, nah. I was rooting for Melo to go let my mans know that Honey Nut Cheerios is not finna fly. I was ready for that.
Melo went to go see that man on the bus before he was not for any of this.
Hey, look. And and that's what I'm talking about with KG. Melo pulled up on the bus and you didn't hear anything else about it from KG. That's how, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be about it, be about it. Be like, yeah, I said it. If he's done that, I'd be like, hey, cool, man. But no, my bad. You right. That was too. You know what I'm saying? You know he was copping pleas on the bus. You know he was copping because Melo was about that life that night.
The pick of Melo waiting outside the bus, I was like, yeah, that's Melo.
KG didn't want none of that. None of
He
it.
was not for no games. I don't even know homie showered, bro. He was dead
He
out
said,
there.
hey, Melo was in the parking lot. He said, why is the bus still here? Let's pull off. I know it. I know it in my heart. But yeah, that's the only again person I can really think of.
We're talking about basketball. LaMelo Ball. Charlotte seems like there's a good chance he's in the running for rookie of the year. Like there are a couple other guys.
Yeah, he was gonna be in the running, from jump. Like you just knew.
keep in mind though, we didn't know. I mean, he was obviously was a number 3 pick, but like he didn't play in college. He played in the NBL for 1 year. He played in that like quasi league that his dad
out of Lithuania, and then
so he's pulling up at half court just on a regular basis. So like I thought he would be good, but there was some real question for me in terms of like he shot like 25% from 3 this 1 year at the NBL, and just some of his shot selection.
Yeah, shot selection because the thing is, you like shot selection like that, you're not gonna stay on the court very long.
Right. And so I didn't know what we were going to get. I thought he was a next level passer, and he had shown himself to definitely be that. But if you were to say like rookie of the year, I'd be like, because he's not even starting, right? Like there are other guys on that list, like Halliburton for the Kings. He's going to get every single minute that he wants. Like Charlotte's still trying to kind of find themselves.
Yeah, you saw what Lamar said today.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, it was either today or yesterday. He's like my son's not a role player. Needs to be starting. And I'm like, all right, man, just let it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even have to come out and say that because it's apparent he's not a role player, that he is a starter. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Nobody's expecting the Hornets to go, really nobody's expecting them to make the playoffs.
Right.
So if they're not expecting to make the playoffs, just let it. Just let the natural course of the NBA take its time.
Shocking, LeVar Ball doesn't have more chill. Shocking.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I was surprised.
But I mean, look, I also feel like it's kind of on the responsibility of like who's putting this camera or who's putting this microphone in front of them, right? Like most parents are going to want their children to start, right? Like, I mean, like even if you were to, even the parents that we don't know, like if you're like, hey, should your kid be starting? He sure should. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Look here. If and when I have any progeny, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. We're like, you don't think your son should be starting? For what? You're not playing defense. I'll be the first one to be like, no, sit him on the bench. Dad, coach, well, what you doing wrong?
That's
just me though.
Is LaMelo good enough to get you back? Because you're not much. You're from Charlotte, but you're not much of a Hornets fan. Is he good enough to get you back on the bench?
Hold on. Don't do me like that. I was a lifelong diehard Hornets fan.
Right.
I have in the past few years had trouble maintaining my level of fanhood. I have been on the fence about joining another team, but I've not put in my papers yet.
Okay.
So technically, I'm still a Hornets fan, I guess. We'll see. I mean, he gives me a little bit of hope for the future. I'm just wait and see mode right now. I'm just wait and see.
I mean, look, between him, Gordon Hayward is having a hell of a season.
Oh, well, Gordon Hayward's always gonna get his.
Well, but see, like I wasn't sure about him though, because he hadn't been able to stay healthy, and in the
when he's on the court.
Yeah, like this is a guy that was coming off the bench for the Celtics. Like he was not their first, second, or third best player last year, and so like I was just like, I don't know what we're about to get with him, and he's been incredibly efficient. I think he has 19 points in the first half. They're playing now.
Oh yeah, no, he's got a very. I very much appreciate his game. Very smooth.
Aggressive.
Just very little effort. Like he gets to the spot on the floor and he's like, I'm gonna get my bucket here and respect it. So yeah, between those two, I like the Hornets' chances for moving forward finally.
Yeah, I don't think this will be the year they make the playoffs, but I think next year, hopefully in like a regular off season, so they can kind of have a real training camp and stuff like that.
And
Because
what's my man? What's my man? I'm still terrible with names. My man who's like the human highlight reel. That's
oh,
just been
Bridges, Miles Bridges,
Bridges.
yes,
Woo, buddy, been
yes.
dunking on
he's he's
everybody.
he's got a few bodies on his wall now. Like
Mm.
he's I think the word's kind of out on him now as an in game. He's one of the
He
best. He probably is the best in game dunker in the league right now.
he's up there with like a younger Russell Westbrook because like when he dunks, he's paying the rim back.
Hmm. And he's
Like
strong too. This is a strong dude.
The rim said something about his mama, and he
Mhm.
never forgot.
Like it's angry, it's violent. Like him
Yeah.
getting to the cup is, and he's a big dude. And he's not like the kind of guy you would necessarily think. I mean, obviously he's the NBA player or whatever, but he's, I mean, he's like 6'6", kind of stocky.
Mhm.
Like he's not necessarily, he doesn't look like Vince Carter or whatever. He doesn't like this kind of long, just I'm gonna yam on you like that. Like, no, it's strength. It's a lot of like,
And
there's a reason when
bounce.
he gets to the cup that you're not stopping him is because he's going through you. He's not trying to go over you or right. No, he's going. He gives me a lot of like Blake Griffin vibes, where he would just be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I don't care." Like, hey, Blake, this probably isn't the healthiest for you. To okay, you're just gonna take off from there. Okay,
All right,
that's
yeah, you made it. It's cool. It's fine.
that's pretty much what it got. But another huge basketball thing that has happened since we last got together was Harden to the Nets.
Mhm.
Can we just go ahead and fast forward to LeBron versus KD in the final? Is that
Look here. I still think it's gonna happen, but it's not necessarily a done deal because the Nets had to give up. And like I said, the Nets' biggest strength was their bench.
yeah.
They had to give up all of that to
Yep.
get Harden. So, and they're still, everybody's trying to write them off now. But they'll mesh at some point. But do they have it? Do they have it for the long run? We'll just have to wait and see.
I'm hoping that we get that Bron versus Braun versus Durant in the finals because like that's like our Bird and Magic. You know what I mean? Like those are two guys who have been consistently in the finals,
Mhm.
be it when KD was with OKC and Bron's with Miami, or Bron's with Cleveland and KD's with Golden State. Like they're I think they're probably the two best players in the league, and are always at each other's heads pretty much, and have been compared with one another pretty much this entire time. Like they're contemporaries in that regard. I know Bron's got a few
Mhm.
years on Durant, but like I don't know. I think we'll look back on their rivalry and as such. Like I don't know if they get it called rivals as much, maybe because both guys have moved franchises so frequently. So
Mhm.
it's not like the Lakers and the Celtics in that regard. So no, but like this feels like one of those things that folks will look back on and people will talk about, kind of like they talk about Bird and Magic. And I just love watching these two guys play because I mean they don't play. They're not similar in the way that they play, but they're both like,
They're very compelling to watch.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're like legitimate, like good, great. Like watching KD, man. Like I mean, 7 feet, guard skills, can score any way you want to put it up, man. Like the collection of he, Kyrie, and Harden, and I guess this depends on how you feel about some of those Golden State teams, but those are the three best scorers I've ever seen on one team before. You know, what I mean, we've had big threes before. We
Yeah.
had KG,
Okay.
Paul Pierce,
Yeah,
Ray Allen,
I might give you
uh,
that.
the Miami Heat, but like just three guys that can score at all three levels, off ball, on ball, create for others, pick and roll. I mean, just it's going to be fascinating. And watching how Steve Nash kind of handles this in his first year. You don't usually get, your first car usually isn't a Maserati. You know what I mean? Like that's not
Yeah,
how
he,
that
he he
goes
stepped he stepped into a very interesting situation.
immediately. And so like he's known as, the what was that, 8 seconds or less, with the
So
sun,
7 seconds left with
7 seconds or less.
D'Antoni.
And so they're gonna go out there and gonna try to implement it. You can see them pushing the ball, you can see their pace.
Unleash the beast.
And like the question for me is gonna be who's gonna be wants to be number three. right? Who's willing to be number three? Because personality wise, it feels like it should be KD, but game wise, no, he's
I
not it.
think honestly, it's too early. It's one of those things. It's too early to tell.
Yeah,
You don't know what that three headed monster is gonna look like yet. So I'm reserving all of my, oh, it's gonna be this is gonna be that. I'm like, I gotta see more. I gotta see more film.
that's real. No, that's real, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how they incorporate all of this. And then personality wise, it'll be kind of interesting. And then like, are they actually gonna play defense? Because I mean, I was watching. I think Kyrie's first game back, and oh boy, whew, that defense still. The Cleveland. What was it? Yeah,
He's
the
hardly
Cavs.
been a defensive stalwart.
No man, I just getting blown by it, like just very frequently. I was like, because that double OT Cleveland game, Colin Sexton, that was one of the craziest displays of shooting
Mm.
I've seen. Bro was knocking everything out the
He was
box. Like,
in some kind of different zone that night. That was whew.
I
And
mean,
he got chin check, ate it, and then still won the game.
yeah,
I
like
respect the young boy.
I kept waiting for him to miss, and he just never did late.
So did Kyrie.
Yeah, yes, because he was not doing nothing with that man. He was like, I mean, he was pulling up from like 30 and like just consistent, like that, like 3 straight possessions just coming down. Whop, whop, whop. It really wasn't even Kyrie playing poorly. It was just Sexton on cloud
Different
11,
zone.
man.
Yeah.
Dude was insane. So I started this episode off with kind of talking about we've been a year in the pandemic. What is something you've learned either about yourself or just in general in this year of just really kind of on more or less kind of on lockdown for the last 365?
Mm. Um, I've learned a lot more to take it day by day, at least for me, like I said, me personally. Um, you know, a lot goes on that's when not a lot is going on, I guess, if you will, like mentally. I don't know. Like you just be like this pandemic, you have times where you're just stuck in your own thoughts, stuck in your own head. So just taking it day by day is something. About people in general, I really underestimate how stupid people can be. This is terrible, but like, because I used to be one of those people who didn't like to, I didn't want to call, say somebody's stupid or say somebody's dumb. But now I really think, because I'm like, you have here in the pandemic, you have even more time to sit. A lot of people, not everybody can, people are struggling, people are trying to make ends meet. So I don't want to, I don't want to, but a lot of people have more time to sit, think, really marinate on what's the world around them and what's going on. And these people have spent that time talking about microchips and getting injected with microchips.
While tweeting from the iPhone.
While tweeting from their iPhone that has a microchip that they take with them everywhere, that has a microphone. So I sorely underestimated the stupidity of humans, and primarily American humans, but just humans in general.
It's made us look.
We look bad out here.
Yeah, man. We going out sad, bro. America going out sad.
Man, I'm seeing pictures of Wuhan right now. They are having rock concerts. I see folks is on stage, they living lives, no masks. And here I am about to have, like we said, my second quarantine birthday. Because people don't want to be smart.
I also think I underestimated how little people cared about one another. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of like getting, like, well, I wear a mask, and that has, that turned into like an entire thing. Now, part of that's leadership, obviously, and thankfully we have new leadership, not only in the executive, but also the legislative branch, so House, Senate, presidency. But people just refusing to look out for one another, and even not even just one another, like their own folks, right? Like folks refusing to look out for their own families. That's that I did not see coming. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. Also learned if you're gonna save money, don't do it on toilet paper. Because I went to Sam's like about like a month ago and got a, pun intended, shitload of toilet paper. And like, but
you over there hoarding for the apocalypse, brother?
I wasn't hoarding, but it was a good deal. That's why I don't need to be going to Sam's and shit. Like,
No,
look,
look.
you know what I mean? I was like, oh man.
If anybody feel you, I feel you, because I will definitely, if I see something in bulk, I don't really have room for it, but I'm gonna get it anyway.
I'm gonna get it anyway because I'm like, oh man, I'm paying like 30 cents a roll or whatever.
Congrats, we're officially old black men.
Yeah, we really are, man. Like it's becoming more and more apparent every single day. Like I'm just like, damn, I'm not even slowly turning into my dad anymore. Like that shit is on warp speed.
It's on warp speed.
And I hear it. I hear myself saying the same things he used to say. I don't even be mad no more. Like I used to be like, who said that? Now I'm just like, all right, fuck it, whatever. I mean, this is what it is. This is what it is. But yeah, if you're listening and you take nothing else from this episode, know to never try to save money on toilet paper. It's never worth it. Just spend the extra money. Spend that extra.
Care about yourself. Brother.
Care about your keister, man. And I can't throw them away.
Care about your keister.
I can't throw it away either. Like there's also that part of me that I'm like, well, I bought them. So
and you know, and I know, and you don't have to tell the truth, but I imagine this may have gone through your head because a lot of this happens to people. You like, I bought all of this. I don't want to use it. Maybe I'll just donate it. But then you start to feel like an asshole because you like, I could donate it, but I'm just passing
this on to people.
Like I'm gonna give the less fortunate subpar stuff. So you're like, I'm not gonna be that guy. So you just grin and bear it, and you use what it is. Be it it's always toiletries. It's funny. It's the weirdest thing. It's always toiletries. You get something, you're like, I can't use this. Like I'm gonna donate it, and you're like, I don't want to donate this to nobody, man. Don't
nobody want this. I don't want it. I'm not passing this. You can't pay that forward. You can't pay shitty toilet paper. No, absolutely not.
You know what they say? You get back what you put out in the world, and you don't want to get that back. So you like, nah.
No, not at all. Hashtag care about your keister.
Let me go get that 2-ply.
Yo, just a random. I remember being so broke in college that I definitely stole toilet paper from like the library and like all the main buildings. I'm sorry, Howard University.
What you apologizing for?
I had to.
You were still in low grade anyway.
Also true. Shout out to my school. You know, we produce people that steal toilet paper and produce man and vice presidents. So you know, duality. Full spectrum. Full spectrum. Gary, where can they hear more about you and your toiletries and everything like that on social media? Where can they follow you?
As always, Parker _Lewis on Twitter and Instagram. Not on TikTok, not on Clubhouse. If somebody wants to pay me to find a way on there, we'll talk about it. Promo and all of that.
Guapaholic. Okay, OnlyFans. I'm Brendan Witter. You catch me HU Cosell. This will be it's always going to be available as where you get your regular podcast, but we're starting to do more videos. When we did one with Politics Aside, we'll be doing it more frequently with the big picture, but you can always catch it on Spotify, Google Play, all the places where you get it, but it'll also be available on that'sblackmail.com. Has every one of our episodes and all the videos on there as well. Garrett, thank you so much, man. We will catch you soon.
Absolutely, no doubt.